Nobody likes these higher interest rates, but guess what? These higher rates are actually your friend. Stop being so mean to the higher rates. Let me explain to you why. One big word, a big buzzword that we keep hearing in the news is inflation. Even my kid the other day was like, what's inflation? I'm like, it's when you can purchase less stuff with that same dollar than you could have a year or two ago. We all know that, right? We're all feeling it. And here's why. So take a look at this graph. This one just goes back a couple years, nothing crazy, it's month over month. But inflation basically peaked in September of 2022. So it was clocking in just over 6.6%, like all-time high, right? And luckily, we've come down quite a bit. Inflation is on its way down. Now, the reason why I'm talking about inflation is when you hear the word inflation, I want you to think enemy of mortgage rates. We all know today, if you go to the grocery store, $100 does not go near as far as it went 5 years ago. Now, the same thing happens with mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are a fixed product. You're gonna get a rate at 7.5% for 30 years, which means it's gonna last for 30 years. So inflation, the reason why it's its enemy is because if that rate stays the same, it's technically worth less with inflation, right? With me so far? The data that we have on inflation is delayed. Even though it's on its way down, there are still some parts of it where it feels like it's ticking up, or the report may show that it's not coming down. Anyway, you ever been on a roller coaster? I love roller coasters. We go to, Disneyland, I do the Incredicoaster, I've been to Six Flags, massive roller coaster guy. This is a good example. So I'll throw this one up on there. We got this slide here of a roller coaster. So right before, when it's like peaking up, there's gonna be some people here that are on their way down when the people on the back of the roller coaster are still on their way up, right? So it's that roller coaster effect. And that's kind of how the lag or the data works when it comes to these inflation numbers, right? So even though it actually might be on its way down, like the people in the front of the roller coaster, the data that we have shows that it's still increasing. And what's that doing? It's causing the Fed to increase rates. They're increasing rates to help slow that down so that we don't feel the effects, so it makes things more expensive, so there's less money out there, less people spending money, which will bring inflation down. Now, luckily, the most recent Fed meetings, they have paused their rate hikes because they're starting to see the effects finally come in. The back of the roller coaster is probably in the middle right now. So they know that, okay, it's gonna start coming down, so they're making adjustments accordingly. And we're also seeing that with mortgage rates. As the Fed is seeing positive results, all these things that they're doing are causing inflation to slowly get down and not as bad as it was in September of 22. This is causing mortgage rates to get better. And as this data continues to come in, as we continue to go all the way down that roller coaster, that will cause rates to go down. But what happens when rates go down? That means more people can afford to buy. For every 1% drop, over 5 million more people qualify for mortgages. 5 million, it's a lot of people. So that creates a supply and demand issue again, right? You got more people that are able to buy, still not enough inventory to support even those in our current market right now, let alone once rate drops. If everybody wants one, and even more people want them, it's gonna drive the prices up even further. Here's why mortgage rates being high right now are actually your friend. Because guess what? Less people qualify, straight up. It's harder to get a loan right now. I wish it wasn't. I think I'm able to approve like 1 out of 4 right now. Like, it's just wild, and it's kind of frustrating. For those of you that truly can't qualify because of rates, I wish I had better news for you. My best suggestion is take a good hard look at all of your finances, see where you can cut stuff out, see where you can live a little bit skinnier, and if you can purchase in this current market, here's why it's a win. With home prices still going up, interest rates being high and where they are now, this causes less demand. So we have a very unique and a very short time frame where sellers might be willing to do things like pay for seller paid closing costs, which would allow you to spend less money because you've got your down payment and you got your closing costs when you buy a house. If the seller covers that closing costs, I mean, that's a chunk of change. That can be sometimes $10,000. If you want to save 10 grand in actual money that you would have to spend out of pocket, now is the time to do it, because when rates go back down and everybody wants to buy a house again, there's going to be 15 other people that are going to be willing to pay cash or 10 to 20,000 more than what the seller is asking for. So there's no way they're going to be willing to pay for even $1,000 worth of your closing costs, because they got 15, 20 people lined up ready to pay full price or more. That's not the situation right now. These real estate agents are realizing that it is not so easy to sell a house in this current market. You got to be a little creative. You actually have to market it and show people what's available and make sure it's for the right price. And in some cases, you might even be able to get a price reduction. I had a client the other day, they bought last month. Rates were like at an all-time high. They were like 8%. This guy was doing an investment property. But because they were so high and nobody else wanted to buy this house either. I want to say he got like 40 or 50K less than what the house was actually listed for sale at. What other time will you be able to do that? So yeah, you know, you're gonna pay a little bit more monthly with that monthly payment, but we've got tons of data out there that shows you that refinancing is gonna be much easier than trying to win a house up against 10 to 20 other people. So right now with interest rates the way that they are, you can get into a house, maybe even get it at a discount, save $10, $15, $20,000, $60,000. You will have to obviously qualify. It's one of those situations we can't approve you based on future interest rates. But guess what? We can just refinance. And by then, home values will be higher, rates will be lower. With me, I'm gonna waive all your lending fees anyway, so you're just gonna have to pay the title fees. You will save thousands and thousands of dollars by buying now with interest rates high rather than waiting for them to come down. I cannot stress this enough. Don't be one of those people that's gonna wait forever for rates to come down, realize they get outbid by everybody, unless, however, you have a ton of money. If you've got tons of liquid money and you're able to do that, by all means, wait for rates to come down because you're gonna need that extra money. But if you're a little tight on funds right now, if you've only got enough for the down payment, maybe you don't even have enough for a down payment. Maybe you only have like $2,000 or $3,000. Interest rates being higher are your friends. Don't let the media scare you. Don't freak out because they're gonna allow you to pick up the house at a lower price, and then we'll just refinance it, get that payment down, and guess what? It's gonna be even cheaper because if you wait for rates to be lower, the price is gonna be higher. It's that simple. So if you're ready to get going today, if you want to see what you could qualify for, there's a link within the description of this video that takes you straight to my website. You can fill out a little inquiry form, which will connect you with me and we'll go over your situation. Or if you know exactly what you're doing, you can actually apply for that loan right then and there. And then I'll give you a call or someone from my team will call you and we'll go over all of your options and next steps, get you pre-approved so that realtor can help find you a house and make you be a homeowner today. And if you're still not quite ready, check out my free first-time homebuyer guide. This is perfect, tons of great information, perfect for those that have never purchased a home before. It gives you all the ins and outs, everything you might want to know when it comes to buying a house. Yes, you can become a homeowner, even with higher interest rates. They're your friends. We're gonna make an apple cider whiskey smash. I made this drink just randomly the other day, and it is by far one of the best fall drinks out there. You can probably make this one hot as well, but I like cold drinks because I live in Arizona. This one is a whiskey-based drink, like pretty much all of the drinks I make myself. We're gonna use this fantastic Michter's bourbon. So I toured this place in Kentucky, the actual distillery. This bottle didn't come from there. All right, so we're gonna do 2 ounces of the delicious whiskey. Michter's. Pretty sure I've been pronouncing this like miters for the past like 8 years. And then, good old Safeway Select Signature Reserve Bourbon Barrel Aged Maple Syrup. This stuff is legit. It's really, really good on pancakes, even better in cocktails. We're gonna use a 1/2 ounce of the maple syrup. And by 1/2 ounce, I mean 1/4 ounce because I don't have that much. It's all right, it'll still be good. And then, some more Safeway Signature Select apple cider. Now, the original recipe that I found for this thing called for like 3 ounces of this, but that's way too much apple juice. So we're just gonna use 1. I like to do a 2-to-1 ratio, whiskey to sugar. We want to taste the whiskey. We're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. Get some fresh lemons. That's a big old lemon. All right, squeeze a 1/2 ounce into this bad boy. There we go, that's all we need. And then I have these apple blossom bitters by Hella Bitters. Do 3 dashes of that, and that should do it. Very simple cocktail. Probably have most of this stuff on hand anyway. Ice cube in the drink. Nice clear ice cube. You wanna know how I make those? It's just a very simple system. I bought it on like Amazon, I think. It's called Ice Made Clear. It comes in like this big blue cooler thing. That's how you get crystal clear ice cubes. So I got this cinnamon stick. I was just gonna take a little bit of cinnamon and grind it in there. Not a lot, but I just wanna get a little cinnamon flavor in there. So I just take a little, ooh, that smells nice. Now let's do our ice. Yeah, nice, okay. There it is, whiskey apple smash. We're gonna take a little bit more of this cinnamon, grate it over the top. A little lemon peel, a little lemon zest on there. There you have it, whiskey apple smash. Oh man, it's good. Yeah, it's like an apple whiskey sour. Drink it. It's delicious.